And hello and welcome to Uptown Tonight. It is January 26th of 2022, and it's actually warmed up today quite a bit, which made me happy. I actually got to take my puppy out for a walk today, so I was really stoked about that. And so was the puppy, man. He was jacked. He's been stuck in the house for like 3 or 4 days, and that energy was just there. But you can see we have a full house today. We have Peter here on third chair. He's coming in and saying some highs. And then we got Aaron, is it Niehaus?
Niehaus.
Niehaus. I keep screwing these names up. Last week, oh my God, don't even watch that one about at least me trying to say the name. I really did the pooch on that one. And then we got Cito over here pushing all our buttons and stuff. Doing great. And then I am your host, Wayne Stallenfacher, or Discount Tom Cruise, or The Wiz, or whatever the hell you want to call me. Not really caring, but the best thing you can do for us right now is subscribe, like, share, comment, all that fun stuff. We are almost at 100. I mean, we're at 97 right now. We've gained a few over the past week. Oh, we just want to get over that 100 bump there. I don't know. For me, that's just kind of a goal.
We need to give out prizes to our subscribers. Like, be the third one to comment, and then we'll send you out a $5 gift certificate to Chili's.
Chili's?
Love
We're
Chili's.
going against Applebee's now?
No.
Man. Where's the dedication?
This is an Applebee's.
But let's show you a few things that we were doing last week. Well, last week we had, that's right. I keep forgetting. That's why I put these up right away. We are opening for Hairball here in a couple of days. So we're going to be down in South Dakota at the Pentagon. I'm going to guess Event Arena in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And
It's the Samford Pentagon.
The Pentagon. So hopefully there's not a cage or anything in there.
Yeah, so
That'd be really interesting. And then we also were selected for WeFest. So we'll be playing WeFest. I believe that's August 3rd. Am I correct on that one? Somewhere in there. It's Wednesday. We'll be playing the Barn Stage out there along with Elvie Shane and Johnny Cochran. And that's our WeFest post for this. We're going to be saying that for the rest of the whole summer and everything.
right?
So,
Yeah, it's going to be great.
That's going to be awesome.
What's
Can't
that?
wait.
Papa Bear or Papa? Oh, Papa Bear.
The Papa Bear Norton.
Nice.
There we go. And then JoJo Mayer is still up for grabs. So those of us watch the Nyblock video, the Peter Nyblock. What is his favorite drummer? Again, jazz player, left foot, played with, why am I blowing the name right now? Saxophone player. What am I thinking of?
After this contest, we're going to have another one.
John Coltrane. That's what
we're
I'm
going
thinking
to give away a Pantera CD.
That's what we got to do.
If you can guess Vinnie Paul's, what was his favorite sandwich?
So you get those down in the comments, or you send it to us an email, whatever you want to do. But if the first person that even mentions it, it's yours. So it's a great DVD for those drummers out there. Great about techniques and stuff. So let's get to our weekend slides. There we were at the M&J. Whew, look at all the brightness on that stage. It was a good time out there. It was a really good time. And, M&J. And then the next one is I had to do a thing on Sunday. That afternoon, I was contacted by the Lake Agassiz Concert Band, and they're in, I'm guessing, desperate need of percussionists for this next concert. And since my little lady was asked to play in this one as well, I decided, well, I got to be at the concert anyways, so I might as well just join up and play along with them. Oh. So there I was. I got to play some xylophone for the next 5 or 6 weeks here.
Do you double, have two of them in each hand when you do that?
This one was only one tune that does that, but yes, I do that quite a bit.
Really?
Sweet.
Yep.
That's impressive.
Dude,
I'm impressed.
And then we have our Mustang Minute.
The Mustang Minute.
I should get an intro. All right, going from the engine compartment to the trunk. Here we got some hubcaps, a spare tire. Yep, we're gonna get that gas tank out of here and then get her cleaned out, and we'll go from there.
I love the interior of that trunk, like that plaid, whatever that is.
That's original. I was so stoked about that. Getting too old for this shit.
Wait, are you by yourself doing that?
Yep.
Oh, man.
Some first shots from underneath. We are full of cobwebs. She's empty. Right there.
No, there wasn't a kilo of cocaine in there.
No, nothing.
Crust City.
Except rust.
And voila.
There she is.
Oh man, look, you're
Trophy.
changing the whole fuel line, right? You're doing
I
that,
gotta get
right?
that.
Yeah.
Look at how rusty that
And
looks.
there's a bunch of bolts.
Because I've had the idea that I could just chemically clean the fuel tank out, and then I started watching some videos of YouTubers trying to do the same thing, and with varying,
Success.
yeah.
Did any of them blow up?
It didn't make sense. It's like you spend
I
more
can see
money
my
on
feet.
chemicals.
So where did you get the gas? Or you got to find one?
No, I have it all set up. I just got to order it. It's really, these parts are not much at all. There's so
Sweet.
many people doing this stuff out there. So that's pretty awesome. So that would be a couple weeks before that gets put back in, and it'll be nice and fresh and new. And I'm excited for that. 'Cause now the next, I just got to start working the engine stuff up and changing the oil and all that crap. Imagine what that oil's going to look like. The thing's been sitting for 20 years.
It's gonna look
Oh,
like
wow.
honey.
So how long has that
Gonna
oil
look
been in
like-
there before that? I have no idea.
Wow.
So yeah, that's gonna be fun. But we're not here for me. We're here for Aaron. So Aaron, how we doing?
Doing good. I gotta say, I looked at your Mustang Minute last week, and when you were doing you had some issue with your brake lights that really made me reminisce about my car audio stuff that I used to do. So
Oh.
I connected with that.
Electricity's fun.
It is.
And I didn't know that you were that deep into there. So I have some questions. I got to show you my little setup in the back room here too. So
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
let's
it
see
doesn't look as nearly as pretty as yours, but
yeah, that was me reorganizing it. So that
Oh,
was
no,
not
that
up
looked,
to date, but
that looked really cool.
showed everything that was in there.
So Aaron, you play fiddle, and you play with power amps
And banjos.
and banjos.
Not as much as fiddle.
Okay.
Lately with the banjo,
So
though.
when did you start all this stuff?
So I got into, well, my first exposure to music, I would say, was my mom actually played in a bluegrass band when I was a kid. So that was my first exposure to just like music in general.
Oh,
And then,
interesting.
I
Was
went
that-
through.
Where was this at? Was this in town? Are you from town?
Yeah, I'm from Fargo.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where'd you graduate from?
I went to North High School.
Oh, another Northie. Very good. All my best friends came from North High.
Oh, yeah.
So when did you graduate? Or should
I
I ask that
graduated in-
question?
I graduated in 2015, and then I went
This
to NDSU.
guy
and graduated
is
there
a
in
kid. Oh my
2015. Yeah.
gosh. Make me feel old. 2015.
Got green thumbs.
So did you start music in high school then, or junior
No,
high or anything? Or you just started all that as just kind of a hobby on the side?
Well, so when I first started playing fiddle or violin, I guess I got a little bit of instruction from my mom. She taught me how to play like fiddle tunes and stuff like that. But largely it was through the public school system.
Okay.
Just playing in the orchestra for a while, and I think that's important because like helps you build up your technique so that you don't have to like worry about fixing that kind of stuff when you get to be an adult.
Excellent. So you
Yeah.
started off in 5th grade then with the orchestra, or you?
Yep. I can't remember exactly when it was. I think they start you off in the 5th grade.
Yep.
Then I played through middle school. I don't know. I don't like reading sheet music so much. I like, digging in and just being gritty with it. So that wasn't really my thing in high school. I ended up dropping out of there, but then I got back into it in college, jamming around with bluegrass.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. So when did you actually start wanting to play, at least out with everybody else? Because I see a lot of photos of you at a
Yeah.
lot of the jam sessions. I'm just guessing they're the jam sessions or whatever else. And when did that all start?
I would say I really developed an interest in playing bluegrass probably about probably 5 years ago.
5 years ago?
That's when
So
I
it's-
started going out. Like I was just playing on my own, like trying to reproduce little solos that I heard in bluegrass songs, and I started going out to jams probably a year or so after doing that. And we had these jams at it's a coffee shop.
Babs.
Not Babs. Red Raven. Red
Raven.
Raven. That's the
Red
one. Yeah.
Raven.
They really.
I was right behind you.
Yeah. Yeah. It was. It's a lot of old dudes that go to those jams, but they got a lot of wisdom to share, so that was a lot of fun.
Well, yeah, the bluegrass stuff. I used to work with a guy at the Pizza Hut, Mr. Dixon. He was a big bluegrass guy. He was a mandolin player.
Oh yeah.
Yep, kept talking about that. That and he was worked as a custodial person in the music building at Concordia, And then he knew I was a music guy, so he'd always be talking about some of the faculty there and stuff. So
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure if Mr. Dixon's with us anymore.
Yeah.
but-
Mark Dixon.
Mark Dixon.
Yeah. That was one of my mom's bandmates, actually.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
That
yeah, I
guy
love
was
Mark, yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, he's awesome. He moved out of town here last year, actually. But
Oh.
he gave me he sold me my banjo.
Very, very nice. I might have to
heavy
talk to you
banjo?
afterwards.
Yeah,
but
the heavy banjo. You can use it as like an
heavy.
anchor weight.
finding that
Yeah.
guy again, because he was he's just fun to talk with.
Yeah.
Just
he,
high energy and just always positive. It was great.
Oh yeah, he's awesome. He goes to a lot of the bluegrass festivals now, so that's how I connect with him now. But he's been out of town. Yeah,
Just
but
well,
we
that's
go
all
and
it
meet
takes.
him in the summer and just get to jam for a while.
That's
He's a great guy.
That's very cool. Very cool. It's such
Yeah.
a small world out there.
I was gonna
Yeah.
sing that. It's a small world.
After all. So did you start like practicing before that? Like, is your mother basically like the huge influence on all this,
Not
or
really.
is it just
I mean,
something you were
it's
just familiar with and just thought it'd be fun?
It's just something I started doing because I thought it would be fun, and then like quickly realized, well, I mean, I've always been fascinated by music, like audio electronics and that kind of stuff, just like listening to music. But like in terms of like improvising, it's not something I really picked up until a couple of years ago.
Okay.
So pretty fresh, new college grad.
You just needed a new
Yeah.
hobby or something, or yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically.
So
And
you-
I just found that I really love doing it.
Cool. So take us through like a segment of like if you had a day that you just wanted to work on your fiddle, what would you do?
Work on my fiddle.
Yeah, because that's to me that's just I don't know. What do you do? Put on records or?
Oh, like learn solos and stuff.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like how do you learn how to be a fiddle player? It's to me. I just don't. I
Well,
have no
if
clue.
if I could answer that question, I'd be in a better place right now. I'd be making some money. Yeah, I'd say I like listening to a lot of Blue Highway stuff. I like listening to just like really esteemed fiddle players trying to replicate their licks, like people like Vassar Clements. Just listen to like all the notes they come up with, like slow it down and try and learn what's going on in their head. So I guess if I could just drop everything and work on fiddle, that's what I do, is try and replicate them, so maybe it could be like 10% of the fiddle player they are.
just got to keep going. You're gonna get there.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be way past 10%. I'm sure way past that. No, just got to keep on going. So, you got started a couple years ago, and you get into all the bluegrass circles. I see that, what was it? The Troll Lounge has a bunch of bluegrass stuff going there as well. Do you hang out over there?
Yeah, we were there
Yeah,
last night.
that's the
That's
most.
where you were last night?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. JT Kennelly was over there. Kate Henny, Dakota Kate puts that on.
Okay.
Well, she just actually that was the first time that she did it, but she's
Yeah, that
gonna
was the
do
first one.
a bunch of. She's gonna make it like a big thing, just like Americana Jam, third Tuesday of the month.
Oh, okay.
Like a
So one time
just a
month.
big group jam, and it's nice because we don't like we have like the bluegrass jam where you sit in a circle, but it's nice to like get different perspectives from people who play more country and just all the different styles of American music.
Okay, so it's kind of like set up like a jam session, basically.
It's more of an open mic situation.
Okay.
Like where the bluegrass jam is around, everyone sits around all at once and plays. But last night it was more like get 2 or 3 people up on stage together and every rest of us watch, And we had a couple jams though. I mean, he jams with everybody.
People just jump in, like they had a bunch of different lines. You just plug into, stand on the floor. We had a big like circle jam at the end. Like everyone came up and played
Yeah,
a
that
little
was-
circle, and the weight. Yeah,
Wait, yeah.
yeah, that was awesome.
That just sounds, I don't know, it sounds interesting. It's like when you're in the circle thing, is that just all improvisation or like how does that work?
So pretty much if you're in like a circle jam, there'll be, at least in a bluegrass setting, there's like one double bass player who's kind of, who should be running the whole thing. But you go in a circle and you just call them out. You say what the song is, what the key is. And most of the time you just pick something just 1-4-5 that people can pick up on. And everyone like kind of figures out the chords or looking at the guitarist's hand to figure out what chord they're playing and what the
Okay.
rhythm's like. And you make eye contact and it's like you want to take a break, and then you just kind of trade it around the circle.
So how long does it usually go for until you take a break? Is it
Break
just,
is a solo.
Yeah,
the
solo.
break is a
This
solo?
That's
Oh, I
another way of
get it.
saying
Speak-
solo.
Yeah, that confused me at first too. It's like, I'll take 5. bathroom break.
It's like, oh, we've been here for 15 minutes. Time to go home.
Right.
So you're basically just figuring out a riff to play together, and then at some point you just someone raises their hand and takes it, or
No, you just point people out. You're like,
oh,
Or you
I
just
see.
start
Take a
playing
solo.
it.
Aaron, take a solo.
If no one wants to play one,
So you have like a
just start
circle
ripping.
master out there. It's like
Yeah.
you're next.
whoever
Yeah.
calls the tune. It's like you
Oh,
go around the circle and each person calls their own tune.
Okay.
You know, and you just sort of you say this is key of C, CFG, and then you start playing it. And people watch your fingers, and then eventually, you get into it. You get the song going, and
We should get some footage of that when that gets rolling. So.
Oh yeah.
Did you send me some footage of that or something
Not
like that?
not that
Okay, 'cause
specifically,
I
unfortunately.
looked at them a little bit. I try not to actually do much creeping on people when they come in here, so then that way it's fresh for me to ask you a bunch of weird questions.
Yeah, it's
Make it-
just like
So you like chocolate ice cream? I saw.
Yes.
chocolate ice cream.
So cool. So where do you want to go with all that?
One of my goals would be to get into like a really tight bluegrass circle. I met someone from the cities. Her name was Evie. I can't remember her last name, but she was, I met her in Valley City.
Okay. Well, shout out
She's
to Evie.
from, yeah, she's from Knoxville though. And she was so tight. Like when she went to improvise on the fiddle, like it was ripping and solid. And I just hear that and I'm like, we need some of that, like a committed bluegrass band. So that's where I want to get,
So get a bluegrass band going in
Yeah.
the area,
Yeah.
and some of them around your age.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So have you put out like any flyers or anything for that, or just any interest?
just Facebook. Yeah.
Just Facebook?
Not yet. I mean, I don't
Okay.
think I'm at the point that I'm ready to, lead a band or anything.
You're never ready. I'll just tell you that right now. You're never ready. You just got to jump in.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Yep. And you learn along the way. Yeah, you trip up a bunch of times, but that's what you learn from, man.
Yeah,
It's not
exactly.
a big deal. No, that'd be other than the Dixon thing. That's the only connection I have to bluegrass at all. And I have no clue. You could play it for me, and I'd be like, "It's just old country, right?" Like, no, that's bluegrass. Like, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the one who really got me integrated into like the, I guess the people in the area in the bluegrass realm was Nate Pitcher. Like he's still like my mentor, I would say. But
Gotcha.
I just met him last year. Duster, the bass player for the Crop Dusters, and just randomly invited me up at Dempsey's at an open mic, and then I went and there was a bunch of like technical issues, and it was my first time ever being on stage, so it was like a little bit intimidating. But I talked to Nate afterward, and then we organized a jam session up in the aquarium because this was in the middle of COVID, and the aquarium was not being used for anything. And since he does a lot of the organization for the music at Dempsey's, we were able to go up there
Oh,
in this
great.
abandoned spot. And I even had a photo of it I sent you.
Do I
They-
have that photo right now?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
probably
there
do.
was like a hockey rink. They had a hockey rink. set up
Oh
there.
yeah, I remember seeing that, or at least seeing it passing through there.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Where
Get
is
to
that
the
at?
basement.
We'll just get to it, and then we'll go back to these other ones here. They look interesting, especially that one here. Where's
Yep.
the ice
A lot
rink
of
one?
wires.
PCB boards.
Look, we're just
Oh.
flying through it all.
Oh,
There
there
you
it is.
go,
Oh, it's on
hockey
its
rink.
side,
Yeah, there we go.
unfortunately. Yeah, but you can see that's actually the aquarium. Like they have shows up there, but in the middle of COVID, I just thought this was such an interesting detail, like stuff that you didn't see in the middle of COVID, like all these venues, what they were doing, trying to get their
That's
shit
cool.
together.
That reminds me
No.
of Clerks. So.
Clerks.
So,
Yeah, I was just
yeah.
thinking that.
So we would just go up there and jam, and yeah, that's the jam that we had at
That's
The
what
circle?
bluegrass, Yeah.
Circle Jam.
Oh, sweet.
So everyone just sits in chairs, and this is nothing
Or
like a drum
I prefer
circle.
I prefer standing myself. I feel like the fiddle is kind of meant to be.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of picturing. It was just like guys all standing, looking at each other.
That particular night was a ripping jam. That was a lot of fun. There were a lot of really good musicians there.
Yeah, it looks fun.
Where was that at?
That's the troll
that was at
lounge.
the troll
It's a
lounge.
troll
yeah.
lounge.
You can see the
You can tell
trolls in the
'cause
background.
yeah, it's
Is
a
that in
pretty
the golf
trippy room.
course?
That's at the Sons of Norway.
Oh, okay. And then you
This-
Yep,
dabble.
see, there's the sexy,
Yeah.
sexy right there.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you were to zoom in, there's a couple things that I use, but this was in the process of reorganizing it. That was going to be the before photo. I haven't taken an after photo yet because I'm reorganizing the space. But
Because that's what he was making fun of my Apple II that's sitting in front of us right now. That's what I collect, old Apple computers. So most of the time
Oh,
these
yeah.
things aren't working. So that's half the fun, is trying to figure out how to get them to work again. Now I'm at varying degrees of actually getting things to work. Usually get them going, but sometimes they're
so you like
learning
fix-
that battery acid's a really, really bad thing lately.
You guys are tinkers.
See, yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was asking what this was, and then yeah.
Oh yeah, this was
Base head.
yeah. Well, it's interesting because this would have been an original, very vintage Fender Bassman, and it's I looked it up. It's worth some money.
Oh yeah.
At one point, someone rebuilt the entire interior of the amp. Randy Schrenk, actually, he's a pretty big amp tech around here. People respect him, but he had whatever happened to this thing. Someone ended up spilling a beer on it.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a big mistake, using your amp for a drink holder, which a lot of people do.
I've heard that a few times.
But yeah, so he rebuilt the entire inside of the amp, and at one point it was having a couple issues with what's called red plating, where the tube just glows like a cherry red. And usually it's just
Oh,
something
it's
small, like something's not connecting just right.
That
so-
sounds scary as shit.
yeah, tube amps can take you out.
Yeah,
Holy
they
mackerel.
definitely.
That's
I've had
pretty
my
cool.
share of
That's pretty
close
cool.
calls. That was at the Grand Canyon. Oh, it was fun.
It was just a pretty picture. Had to
Yeah.
grab it.
Is that your profile pic on Facebook?
It was for a while, because I had to get like halfway down to take it. So I'm like,
It looks
I'm
like
gonna.
a profile picture you'd have up for 10 years. You look on my Facebook, my picture's been on there since 2008. It hasn't changed.
Can't remember when I changed mine either.
And this, where are you at in this music
See,
festival?
this is what I
Yeah.
kind of imagine for like a bluegrass circle. That's what I imagine.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing. Like, you got the double bass over there. This was at. This is a festival that Lloyd LaPlante, he's a luthier from northern Minnesota, puts on by Grand Rapids every year. So this was in June, but this was pretty spontaneous. Like, they're like, a couple of the people in this photo are like really, really good musicians, but they all just like get together with everyone. Anyone can jump in and start jamming. So-
So there's a lot of people from around the area come in for this festival type thing, or is it just this?
It's too far of a drive for a lot of people to make it out, unfortunately. Like,
Okay.
this was like 2 or 3 hours away. But Mark Dixon, he was at this one. I think there's probably a photo of Mark in there.
Well, that'd be awesome.
Yep, right there. He's got the guitar.
On the right, yep, that's
Yep.
him.
Oh, that's a beautiful guitar, too.
Oh yeah. And then that guy on the left, I think that thing is called a nickel harpa.
yeah, I was gonna say. What
I
is
was
that?
like, what
You need
is that?
some-
First, I thought it was you, and then I was like, no, that's not you. Then it's like, what is this?
Yeah, it's not exactly a fiddle. I mean, it resembles a fiddle. Yeah, there are like a bunch of pegs on the bottom. You like press up, and it like kind of frets the string.
Weird.
It looks
Yeah.
like something
Doesn't
that
it look
John
interesting?
Lennon would have been playing around with.
Yeah, no kidding. Yoko.
Kind of looks like a hurdy-gurdy.
Yeah,
A little
I
bit.
think it was based on a hurdy-gurdy, the
Okay.
design of that thing.
Now, this picture here, I was like, look at the back end.
Yeah, this was funny. That was at the Bluegrass Festival, Minnesota Bluegrass and Old Time Music Association Festival, Mabatma. They have this every August, and this was a photo from this previous August.
You guys were just jamming and cruising around like a parade.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, how
And
does that
Mike
work?
and-
Is there actually concerts and
Well,
stuff there? Or you
actually,
guys just
this-
break out in the campground all day long?
Well, this was pretty. This was pretty impromptu. They literally just like pulled up, and I just jumped on. But it was well. Then we kept driving around, and see, the thing is, like, if you look at most of the people on that pickup, there's a double bass. Like, that guy's not moving, and everyone else has a strap. I'm like the only instrument on that thing that doesn't have a strap. So you start like driving around the campground, you hit all these bumps. It gets scary real quick. Like, you're gonna drop that thing.
Man.
But it was a fun ride though.
That just, yeah, that whole like community. It just looks like they're just happy just to be around each other and just do stuff. That's really, really cool.
Now, what is this? Wade puts stuff like this up, and I never know what it is. But is that the brain of a computer?
I think if you go to the next one, that might give it some more context. See. So this was inside. I wish I got a photo of the whole thing, but this is inside a Pioneer receiver, something kind of like this.
Yes, actually, I got something I need you to look at before you leave that.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, it's been sitting on my shelf for 2 years. I haven't been able to figure it out. So
I got this mole on my back.
that's pretty much it.
Yeah, they have these groups of transistors. Like the transistor is kind of like the workhorse inside a lot of these things, and this specific unit, I don't know, is like Chinese crap or something, but they like always go bad. And so there's this guy who makes these kits, and those are the kind of silver looking things in the middle of the screen.
Oh,
And you buy all the parts to assemble on this board, and it kind of replaces the normal package that would go there.
And then that leads into this thing. That's what
Yeah.
they are.
that's what
And
those are.
that black thing on the left is the piece of Chinese crap that fails all the time, and then the one on the right is like the custom engineered one that the guy sells on the internet. So I just put a couple of those together.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, lots of soldering. And that was obviously
Gee, I don't know who that is. It's a bunch of ugly people on a stage.
I love the lights.
Yeah,
in
that was
picture.
fun. That was a fun night.
I just look over really slow. You calling ugly?
Yeah.
Well, the pretty one's getting all covered up here. You know, gee. Pretty ugly one.
This was at the windbreak.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was the ladies' night we did. That was pretty fun.
There was a lot of people there
Yeah.
that night. That was a great night.
And then back to the
That
truck.
was
Then
the
there we're
truck.
partying again. So how much alcohol is consumed during all this? Or are you guys just that crazy?
I don't know. I didn't drink a whole lot, to be honest with you.
Well, that's fine.
I don't know. I think like once an hour is pretty good. It keeps you at a good level.
Oh, that was the,
No, it's
the
back to,
upstairs.
I think we
Back to that.
probably went through all of them.
Oh, yeah, we did. So there you
Cool.
be. And then I think we got something else here, don't you, Wade?
Yeah, we
You
got a
said?
couple videos.
Yeah, we do. All right,
So let's
get
play
through
the
these.
first one.
They're kind of long.
Yeah, we don't have to play
Well, you
the
get
whole thing.
down the fiddle and you get down the bow, you kick on the shoes and you throw 'em
I'll
on the
cut it
floor.
off when it starts to get dull.
So where is this at? Looks like downtown.
This was at Fergus Brew back in September. It was just something fun that happened after a gig. The stage is over on the right, but it was after like there was like this big voice curve that we had to follow, so it was just like kind of unplugged. It just got around this fire.
That'd be fun.
That's exciting.
It was pretty bad physically. Look at the dude with the cut in the bottom left. Plays percussion.
You guys got the people with the jugs and stuff there too?
No, we need to.
Or is that something else?
I want to
Get
play
a
the
glove.
chug.
I always thought that was so cool when you watched that Sesame Street way back in the 70s.
Look at that.
Daddy, don't get drunk this Christmas. I don't want to see my mama cry. Please, Daddy, don't get drunk this Christmas. I don't want to see my mama cry. Just last year I served only 7. Now I'm amazed you can plainly see. You came home 11:15. Fell down underneath the Christmas tree. Please, Daddy, don't get drunk this Christmas. 'Cause I don't want to see.
What's on this one?
Nothing. You only had the two.
Yeah, there were
Oh,
two
it was
videos.
just the two. Okay.
That's
That's all
just the
good.
two.
I thought that was another
Oh.
one.
That's cool.
Full slideshow.
So was that
Sweet.
second one? That was basically another one of those open mics. Was that what was going on there, or was that an actual?
That was a
group?
Christmas show.
That was a Christmas gig. Yeah. It was like we prepared a bunch of Christmas songs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's kind of the crop dusters. Like they have. I don't know if
It's just like different arrangements every time. Like there's like a certain set of like revolving musicians and Duster. The bass player just like picks a few of them and makes a band for a specific gig.
Yeah, there's Nate Pitcher and JT Kennelly and a couple
And
standard.
Russ Pfaff on drums.
Yeah.
Mr.
I think
Pfaff.
Russ
I
is
actually
pretty
bought
constant.
I just bought an Apple computer off of Russ, an old 2GS.
Wow.
And it works, Russ, so that was awesome. That was the first 2GS I actually got that was fully functional, so I was really happy about that. And, all right, so you've started off life, we'll say, playing the violin. You got out of it. And then all through high school, you ended up going to which college?
I went to NDSU.
NDSU for
Yeah.
electrical engineering.
Yes, that's correct.
That's what I saw, because I did not know that about you. So I would have asked a bunch of questions if I did know that, at least before any of this would happen. What inspired all that? And don't just say money, because that's boring. And what are you doing with that nowadays?
Well, I think my interest in electronics really came from doing a lot of car audio stuff like I was talking to you about before.
Oh, yeah.
Just because I'm like, man, you got this box in your car that just like shakes stuff. I'm like, how does that amp work? Like when you pull it apart, it's just like a bunch of alien circuitry in there.
Exactly.
So I was like packing all that power into a box. I wanted to learn how that works. So now, I mean, they teach you a lot about that when you go to college for it. So that was basically my motivation. I didn't know you could make a lot of money doing it. And fortunately, you can. But
So basically, you just wanted to figure out how to make power amps.
yeah.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Well, and then the irony is like the power amps aren't really worth a lot of money for the work you put into building them. So like guitar amps though are different, like big tube amps. You know, those are vintage. People love those.
Exactly.
So that's what I like doing, even though it's a lot more simple than like a Class D amp that goes in a car and much easier to fix.
Are they easier to fix? I don't know. They
Wow.
scare the living
Yeah.
out of me because I've read too much about things going boom while you're putting
Well-
stuff in things.
I mean, safer to fix, no.
That's the whole thing.
Yeah, that is a whole thing. Yeah,
'Cause I
you
know
gotta.
the old solid state stuff. You can mess it up all day long, and you might get a little tickle out of it, maybe. But
Yeah,
that's about it.
the biggest concern is that it's so easy to break the solid state stuff. Like, I mean, you touch
Oh.
something wrong, bend something wrong, just poof. you
Yep,
know?
arc it over.
Yeah. But yeah, that's where I really like working with tube amps because people value tube amps. They care about them. Like,
Exactly.
if you message someone about them, like, you know, giving them an update, it's like they're always on top of it. Like they care about their tube amps.
Yes, and we bought a twin reverb back in the 90s when I was in high school. And we brought it to Marguerite's because it was acting up. We wanted to put new tubes and all that other stuff. And they're talking about whoever had it beforehand was doing a bunch of backyard circuitry stuff into there. So about 4 or 5 more times back into there, they got it basically back to the original or how it's supposed to be set up,
Yeah.
the Fender way. And man, that thing sounded so clean.
Really?
I could not. That was the greatest amp in my opinion, I've ever heard. It used to sit in this room. And then, I'm not going to say what happened to it, but my younger brother
Oh,
does
something
know what
bad.
happened to it. And
Spill something.
yeah, I was not in town. I was living in Texas at the time.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yep. And I came back and it was
Big loss.
gone. So not happy about that. But no, that's when I fell in love with tube amps at that point. So I completely understand that. So is that something that you do as a business or is this like a hobby? What's this all about?
I mean, I make a little bit of money. You know, there are amp techs out there who are efficient enough and are so solid with what they're doing that they can consistently make a profit. For me, it's like, you know, I charge an hourly rate, but realistically, I put a lot more work into it than I'm going to feasibly make as a profit. So it's
is it more about the
just
challenge?
something that
or-
I just enjoy troubleshooting it, and I like that it's actually fixing a problem for someone as opposed to just trying to make money.
solving the puzzle.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Cool. So what else do you do besides wanting to fiddle all day?
I go to work.
Don't want to mention that?
Don't want to mention that.
Nope. Okay, that's fine.
Oh, work?
Yeah.
Oh, work. I work at a company called VEI Global. We do engineering consulting. So it's like you go into a factory, They're going to put in a big hunk of metal, like a big conveyor, and I draw out like where all the wires got to go to hook up the conveyor.
Oh,
It's
the
fun.
fun stuff.
Getting to go out to the factories and everything. It's always a fun day because you get to drive on the road. And like today I went down to the Mindak factory down in Wapaton, so that was cool.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
So you're not sitting behind a desk the entire day.
Yeah, well, I mean, there are definitely days that are like that, but I like the, physical connection, like seeing the impact. Like on one project I did this summer, you can drive by if you're going up north by Grand Forks. If you look off to your right, there's a Red River Biorefinery. You may not be able to, you should be able to see it from the interstate, but there's like a couple tanks sitting out there. It's like, hey, those are on a little package I put together, and I drew those on a piece of paper. So it's like it makes.
And then there it is.
Well, I mean, the people built it. That was also part of it.
Yeah, but still, the ideas or whatever came from you, and then it came to fruition. So that's always fun.
Yeah.
That is fun. Satisfying.
Yes, very satisfying.
But speaking of satisfying, we need to get to what's going on this weekend. So, Cito, what do we got going on?
Bulb. Oh, I love what's that little football music you got going now?
Exactly.
Well, here we are at the
That's from Dan
Downtown
Sullivan,
Report.
so I don't know if he knows we're using it or not.
And we are at Dempsey's this weekend. Open mic with Gina Powers on Thursday. The Righteous Songs on Friday. The Aquarium has Joe Nice and Mercury on Thursday. Necromancy and Leon J. and Alpanis, Tater, Modest.
They got the greatest names.
All on Friday night. Make sure you check it out. J. Melby and DJ AP on Saturday night. I love the music you got going on there. The DCR, I always called it the drum cloth. I don't know why. It's just the everyone's like, no, it's not. It's called Drum Conrad or whatever. I'm like, drum cloth. But they got the open mic going there on Thursday nights, and then the Delta Urban 42, Kathy Brecky in the 42nd Street Jazz Band will be out there on the Thursdays doing their thing they always do.
Catch some good jazz.
The Fargo VFW's got Kicking Back Band on Thursday and Saturday, or Thursday to Saturday, yeah, all the way to
Thursday
Saturday.
through
then.
Saturday, 3-nighter.
Nice. The Fargo Brewing Company has Mad Alice and Muzzle, Alice and Chain Smashing Pumpkins tribute band happening Saturday. That's going to be a good one. The Side Street has Karn. I thought that said Kane. Thursday night out there, and then the Sons of Norway, the Troll Lounge. We were just talking about that place. Tuckered Out's out there on Thursday. So the Tailgaters, Gina Powers Band is going to be out there Friday night doing their thing. And then JC Chumley's, we got switching it down now over to Moorhead. We got the Slamabama on Saturday night. Specs Aftershock will be out there Friday and Saturday. And at the Cellar, we got Maggie Ferris on Friday. Bar 9, the Deadbeats will be out there Friday doing a thing. So, and then the Downtown Acoustic Corner on Thursday, we got Bobby Peterson. That's from Low Standards. He'll be out there doing his thing at the 701. Sean Mitzel will be at the Swing Barrel. And then Friday on the 21st, we got Mick Klein at Rookies. And then Saturday, January 29th, Gordon Christensen, Jonathan Robert at the Troll Lounge, Jim White, Roundup Saloon, Michael Pink, Silver Spike, Shane Bertrand at the Flying Silver Pig in West Fargo. And then Mick Klein is out at the VFW in West Fargo.
The Flying Silver Pigs. I love that.
And then the Windbreak, I'm sorry if I messed that up. Windbreak, Rhyme or Reason, Thursday, and then Tripwires out Friday. Pop Rocks is going to be out there Saturday.
229.
And now in the fourth quarter, we're going to switch our time machine over here to the Southtown Poorhouse in Grand Forks. Back to you on the Pop Rocks on Friday. Rhyme or Reason. It's the music. It makes me feel like I'm on Sports Machine or something with... And now in sports, we got the Shooting Star in Minoman. Firehouse is going to be out there. And then Brianna Hebling on Friday night to Saturday at the Mustang Lounge. The Fargo Theater, 1964, the Tribute, will be out there on the Friday. And then the Sanctuary Event Center has Chad Daniels. So, and then in the out of town, the O Original and Minot, Fully Loaded is out there. And then at our favorite place in the Bismarck Mandan area, the Laughing Sun Brewery, we got Savannah Benz on Thursday and the Prairie Chickens on Friday night. And then the Moon Cats on Saturday. In Detroit Lakes, we have Sandbar 2 at Jack Thomas is out there Friday night. And at the Arthur's Barn, we got Rhyme or Reason rocking out on Friday night. And then our show happening this weekend on Friday night is at the Sanford Pentagon in Sioux Falls. We're opening for Hairball That's going to be a fun experience for us. So we'll be out there. If you're in the area, wave to us when we're driving by.
Exactly.
And then and that's where we are. So that's it for the music report this week, and I give it back to you.
Excellent. Always good to have you back on that, Cito.
Very
Always-
thorough forecast.
Oh, it's good. It's good. I can't wait to get some photos from that show we're playing on Friday. That's going to be freaking, I don't know.
So Aaron, how many of those are you going to play with? Because I like to joke, if you go downtown,
Yeah.
you walk into a bar, it's a good chance you're going to see Aaron on stage fiddling with somebody.
Oh, is that his little gig here?
It is,
So-
yeah.
Ah,
I don't know
so
how many
that-
times I've just,
See, that's why
randomly
we
gone
have the
out.
red monk here. He sits there and
He's the
brings out
monk.
the
He knows
secrets, what's going
everything.
on.
Yeah.
So he's doing the Jaco Pastorius right now. You're taking the yellow fiddle players, bringing them out in the back, beating them up so you can go
Yep.
and play for them.
Yeah. Well, actually, Nate Pitcher texted me. Texted the group today that they may be filling Friday at Dempsey's. So
Oh, sweet.
yeah,
There it
I
is.
didn't notice if that was on the screen or not. I know there's been some shuffling around on that one, but that one. No,
I think
I
there's
don't
only a
know.
Thursday
It's not
of-
defined yet, but it's a tentative. I think.
Well, still. So, okay. So you got some work going on Friday. So is
Yeah,
that how
it'll
you
be fun.
normally do it? You just start walking down the street and you hear somebody playing and you just walk on in and say, Fiddle.
They'll call him. They
They'll
text
call.
him.
Really?
I do too.
So you're just on the Rolodex here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's just fun jamming. But yeah, there was this guy actually, Patrick Edward, I think, this summer who did a lot of busking. He had he had like a looper pedal on the sidewalk, and he would bring like either like his bass or his uke or his little acoustic out on the sidewalk, and he would play like loops, and people would come out and rap over the top, or like other musicians would come out and jam with him in this very like free form loop thing that he did, and it drew like a crowd. Like there were a lot of people that stopped by, so I jammed with him some this summer. So to some extent, that was a lot of fun.
Is
just
that
seeing
always
people's
out on the
reaction.
sidewalks then? So street musician style or?
Yeah, I guess he like kind of
Speak
makes a
more into my
living
mic.
off of doing it. Like he said he was out on like the West Coast, and he would do that like every day, and people would just be like putting money in his hat, and that's like how he made a living.
Well, it must be a legit thing. 'Cause I know every time I get out of a Twins game, there's always that one bucket drummer. It's always a
Yep,
block
yep.
off. I always give him money too. This-
We gave him money too.
You got to.
He must be making a lot.
No kidding.
He drove
Those
away
dudes
in his
are
BMW after that.
Those dudes are talented. I've seen some YouTube videos.
Oh yeah, God, they're fun. They're just fun. to
And
have 'em out
the
there.
dubstep. Oh, one time when me and Nathan were busking downtown, we ran into this guy. I think his name was Gene Shinazaki. He was from, I don't know where this dude was from, but he just like came up to us and like, cordially introduced himself. And then he started doing all this weird stuff with his mouth. Like he could, maybe you will appreciate this. He could vibrate his lips at a specific frequency and then harmonize with his vocal cords. And he could do like all kinds of weird beatboxing dubstep like stuff you would see.
We
in
got to
Europe.
get him on the show.
Oh my gosh,
wow.
is this guy in town?
No,
Ah!
I think he tours a lot in Europe, but like
Yeah,
it was
okay.
crazy to see like what you can do with just your mouth. Like most people just sing, and this dude's out here like in the avant-garde of singing.
That makes me think of Police Academy.
Yeah, I was thinking of that too. Winslow.
Winslow, yeah.
Can't remember his first name.
I don't think I've seen
Yeah,
that one.
Motor
Michael
Mouth.
Winslow. Michael Winslow.
Yeah, Michael Motormouth Winslow. Yeah, that and then it reminds me of Shane Bertrand, his squirt gun. God,
I've been practicing, but I still can't even make one squeak.
you have to check out that podcast because he sits there and he actually
No
does
luck.
it on the podcast where he tries to show you how it works. But he was called a savant on the Lex and Terry show many
A
years ago.
savant.
Yeah, because he made an album of him doing this, basically hand farts. That's basically what he's doing, but he just
An album of hand farts. That is
He's
awesome.
really good at it.
My
Like,
gosh,
make
he's-
it melodies and everything.
yeah, he just made that thing
Really?
work. It was freaking crazy.
What was the guy's name?
Shane Bertrand.
Shane Bertrand. Maybe
Yep.
I'll just watch the stream again to get the name.
Yeah, he's also playing. He has a show this weekend.
Yeah, that was the.
I can't remember where.
One. It's on there.
It's
if
on.
you want, you can look it back, or you can post a thing after in comments or something.
Yeah, we can do that.
That's what
I'll
usually
throw
people.
it in the
That's what
comments.
usually people in podcast. Yeah, they put like I'll put that in the link on the thing. So
We will do that.
We'll put Shane out there. So
But you ready for a little juvenile destruction?
Juvenile destruction.
Yeah.
Is that the amp thing?
You gotta have a little juvenile destruction. Not quite the amp thing.
Because
So.
that might have been some juvenile destruction. You know?
Well, here's this week's Off the Roof.
Is that PBR?
now I get it now.
I had to build it up.
Yeah, easy
Oh.
to go.
I got one of those. My daughter's got one.
That was perfect game too. You're hired. So that's this week's Off the Roof, and that all came from us back in the day, and we had the big raging parties here when I was way probably about your age, and it always end up someone on the roof, and we're throwing something off, and yeah, it usually was electronics of sorts, but we just keep the tradition alive. So
You just throw something off a roof every now and then.
yeah, you got to.
Got to make life
It keeps you
interesting.
alive.
Yeah.
Lets the blood flow. All
That's
right.
cool.
So, is there ways to get in contact with you if they have any problems with their amps, or are you taking any more customers, or are you just looking to get some more fiddle playing in?
I usually give like timelines about like when I can look at things. So right now I'm pretty booked up. Like I mean
Okay.
I'm always willing to look at stuff, but sometimes it just takes me a little bit because I want to focus on playing the fiddle.
Gotcha. So here's Mr. Aaron. I'm gonna screw up your name again. Niehaus.
Niehaus.
See, I told you I'd screw it up. Niehaus. So Aaron Niehaus, he's up for hire. So if you're out there looking for that, I do have his Facebook page and stuff pinned below, so you can find him on there. And is there anywhere else I can find you at?
Pretty much Facebook message is the best way to do it. Like
Just-
I have an Instagram too, so but Facebook.
Oh, that's
is where
right. I
check
have
the
that
most
pinned
often.
down there as well. Yep. So, anything else for the good of the order, Peter? Got any words of wisdom for everybody out there?
Don't do drugs, kids.
Don't do drugs. That's basically it.
Say
Cito?
no.
Drive slow on interstate.
Oh yeah, especially today.
Yeah, people are driving all crazy. Oh, look at I look like the TV reporter. And we're live here with Cito, and he's in Beirut right now. I am here right now, and I can hear the gunshots in the background.
So there we go. You can find them on those media platforms. And remember, if your drummer has more charisma than your front man, your band may be in trouble. But that's why my band's doing just fine. So until next time.